There's excellent chapter in Rajiv Sardesai's book, 2024, The Election That Surprised India, chapter 14, on the Godi media. You are the Godi media in the English language, and also in Hindi with Ravish Kumar, that people were watching as an alternative to all the propaganda out there. Rana Ayub is the bravest woman around, a woman journalist I know. Dhruv Rathi, who's not a journalist, he was a sort of an educator on YouTube.
That's one of the most prominent faces of our mainstream journalism, N. Ram, editor-in-chief of The Hindu, who in this interview with BBC's popular propagandist interviewer, Stephen Sacker, was all out attacking the Narendra Modi government for curbing India's press freedom by emphasizing on the word Godi media. We all have seen how The Hindu has always been the most anti-Hindu whenever it came to publishing articles on Hindu festivals, propagating anti-government and anti-Modi agenda, and also creating a North-South divide. And thus, it is not so surprising to see The Hindu's N. Ram quoting phrases from a propaganda journalist like Rajdeep Sardesai's book, who has made sure to write down all misleading narrative against the current government by repeatedly using the phrase of Godi media. Well, in reality, it's people like N. Ram, Rajdeep and Ravish Kumar who have made sure to be the puppets of the Darbari media ecosystem. They have made sure to pitch in always a one-sided narrative about the government and India as a whole, just to make sure that their agenda matches with that of the opposition, for whom I think they might be working directly or indirectly. क्योंकि script तो सबके पास सेम ही आती है. Anyways, moving forward, let me show you how in his interview with BBC, N. Ram made sure to give limelight to some of the Darbari media gang, starting one by one. Ravish Kumar.
Independent TV channel in the English language, and also in Hindi with Ravish Kumar, that people were watching as an alternative to all the propaganda out there.
According to him, people are preferring to watch journalists or YouTubers like Ravish Kumar just because they want to divert themselves from the mainstream propaganda. But wait a minute, doesn't Ravish Chacha have a copyright over it? About whom we have done a dozen videos on our channel talking about how he hasn't left a single opportunity to mock and criticize the Modi government, whether it was about the Mahakumbh or indulging in fear-mongering with his selective and half-baked data on Indian economy, and even Ravish Chacha's special love for Hindenburg.
इन सीढ़ियों से उतरते हुए हिंडनबर्ग का दफ्तर खोज रहे हैं. एंडरसन, एंडरसन, हम एंडरसन को पुकार रहे हैं. एंडरसन नहीं आ रहा है. एंडरसन, where are you?
But N. Ram made sure to put Ravish Chacha in the category of the good voices, or you can say good things happening on social media.
There are lots of good things happening there, and as we saw with Ravish Kumar and Dhruv Rathi, and there are others in various Indian languages who are doing this.
Well, we have even heard Dhruv Rathi's name here.
I fully agree with this, and I'd add Dhruv Rathi, who's not a journalist. He was a sort of an educator on YouTube, and he then put out something that went viral called "Is India a Democracy?" And then he had a sequel, and I believe 50 million views.
Educator. Dhruv Rathi, the educator. I want to know who on earth in the name of education propagates only a specific party's narrative on his million-following YouTube channel? If Dhruv Rathi is actually an educator, then why did he release Aam Aadmi Party's political campaign video on his channel? Just imagine the app published this video after Dhruv Rathi's release. अगर Dhruv Rathi educator है तो N. Ram सत्यवादी हरीश चंद्र है. And then on top of it, we see N. Ram calling the Washington Post columnist and financial fraud accused Rana Ayub the bravest woman journalist.
Rana Ayub is the bravest woman around, a woman journalist I know.
Does targeting your country and mocking your own government at international platforms make you the bravest journalist?
I went undercover. I went undercover as this Hindu American girl with a fake name, a fake identity and a fake American accent with 8 cameras on my body.
I mean, come on, you talk about Godi media, but in reality, it's this toolkit ecosystem who in the guise of journalism and YouTuber are inflicting the minds of people with biased agenda and distorted narratives. That's why our viewers should hear this out, how N. Ram very cleverly did quite the same in his BBC interview by just targeting the central government over Pegasus spyware issue without citing any proof or references to match his points.
You don't have proof this is happening.
There's a strong suspicion, and other countries have investigated it. The New York Times did a story on this, pretty much indicating that this had been used. The Wire did investigations on this.
Quoting The Wire and the New York Times as credible source to paint your own government in a bad light. How genuine is this, sir? We all know how the Western media has left no opportunity to further anti-India and anti-Hindutva content on their platforms. They have even been fact-checked a multiple number of times. In fact, we as well at our channel debunk the Western biases. So they shouldn't be used to quote as a credible source. Well, since we are anyways talking here about Enram's bizarre interview to BBC, our viewers should know how Enram himself is hardly a reliable individual with questionable integrity. Ahead of the 2019 general elections, Enram had published an article in The Hindu, wherein a note regarding the Rafale deal was not only cropped but also digitally altered such that it could help the Congress led by Rahul Gandhi build up a narrative that fighter jets deal was a scam. Here, defense expert Abhijit Iyer Mitra had explained in February 2019 itself on how the note published by The Hindu was an active and deliberate attempt at lying and misleading Indians. So quite rich of Enram to go on a known anti-India propaganda platform and pontificate on journalism. Maybe he should introspect a little next time.